Dear friends, today we will tell you such a cautionary tale that you will surely learn a lesson from. A spoiled only daughter of poor parents who was always keen on listening to music. How did Allah make her a sign of admonition? Let's see this instructive incident. There was a scholar in a village named Abdul Kalam who lived with his wife Fatima. After much prayer and desire, Allah had granted them only one daughter. Abdul Kalam loved his daughter very much. Both husband and wife raised their daughter with great affection. Their daughter's name was Zainab, who had been very beautiful from childhood. Whenever she spoke sweetly, both husband and wife were very pleased with her sweet words. Time passed, and the daughter grew up a bit. One day, when Abdul Kalam came back from praying, what did he see? His daughter had put on a lot of makeup. Abdul Kalam got very angry at this and told his wife, "O servant of Allah, explain to your daughter what she has started. Being an only daughter doesn't mean she should engage in such filthy acts. You advise her on the veil she should practice veiling, not go out flaunting fashion." The scholar's wife got very angry that he scolded her darling daughter. She didn't say anything to her husband, but took her daughter by the hand, her nose flared, and went inside. Abdul Kalam said, "You will see. One day you will definitely regret this." The next day, Abdul Kalam went to Saudi Arabia for work. While leaving, he kissed his daughter's forehead and said, "Daughter, always be happy. It's just a matter of some time. Then I will return home to you. Just take care of yourself, mother and daughter." As time went by, one day Zainab's mother was doing some housework when suddenly her daughter came to her and started saying, "Mom, I want to buy a mobile phone. The girls in my college bring their mobiles with them. No, that's why your father scolded me." Hearing her mother's words, Zainab got very angry and told her mother, "Mom, I don't care. I won't eat or drink anything. I won't do any housework, and I won't go to college either. Do whatever you want, but until you buy me a mobile, I won't do anything. I want a mobile phone by any means." Saying this, she started crying. Her mother felt very sorry for her because they had no other children. She was their only daughter. Then Zainab's mother came to her and said, "Daughter, for the sake of Allah, eat something. You will fall sick. Okay, I give up. I will buy you a mobile phone. In fact, we will go get your mobile phone today." Hearing this, a smile appeared on Zainab's face. Then both mother and daughter went to the market, and Zainab's mother bought her a new mobile phone. Now Zainab was very happy because her big wish had been fulfilled, which seemed impossible. Her father would never have bought her a mobile, but her mother gave in to her stubbornness. And now, what was going to happen next? You people must listen. When Zainab took the mobile out of the box at home, her mother happily sat next to her and said, "Daughter, show me what it looks like." Zainab's demeanor immediately changed, saying, "Mom, go do your work. What do you know about what a mobile is and how it works? You're not even educated. You're just ignorant." The mother was angry but ignored it for her daughter's sake. Then, time passed just like that, and the girl kept deteriorating day by day, constantly immersed in the mobile, not listening to her mother, not doing any housework, and not even praying. And when her mother started praying, the girl did not care at all, just kept playing songs on her mobile and listened comfortably. When her mother's concentration was disturbed by the prayer, she would say, "Daughter, turn down the volume. I'm praying. It distracts me." The daughter replied, "Mom, when are you praying? Your ears are always on my mobile." The mother still swallowed her anger, but now she was worried about her daughter, thinking, "What will this daughter do?" One day, Zainab's mother again sat down to explain to her daughter, "Daughter, fear God. Don't use the mobile so much. Your eyes will get bad. You will fall sick. I'm very worried about you. Do some housework too." But Zainab was hardly free from her mobile. She pushed her mother away and threw her out of the room, saying, "Why do you keep disturbing me? When the light goes out, I will do the housework when the mobile is on charging." At that moment, Zainab's mother realized what a big mistake she had made. and now the girl was out of her hands. At first, Zainab only listened to songs on the mobile, but now she had crossed all limits. She studied in a college where a boy also studied, with whom Zainab became friends, and she was engaged with him on calls day and night and had given her heart to that boy. The boy was forcing her to do all kinds of things, and Zainab was following everything he said. Now, she didn't like her mother at all. She couldn't bear her mother. Just kept praying for a day to come when her mother would disappear from the house and she could talk to that boy to her heart's content. As she was sending pictures to that boy, Zainab's mother saw her, slapped her on the face, and said, "Did I buy you a mobile for this?" Hearing this, Zainab got very angry, threw her mother to the ground, and started beating her, saying at the same time, "How dare you slap me? I have my own life, I will live it my way, and here you are, not dying, nor leaving me alone." Now she had crossed all limits of disobedience. She was beating her mother badly. Suddenly the door opened, and Zainab's father had returned from Saudi Arabia without telling anyone. As soon as he entered the house and saw this atmosphere, he ran and picked up his wife from the ground and slapped his daughter hard, saying, "Daughter, have you no shame or what? You sold your decency, hitting your own mother." Zainab's mother, crying, told her husband everything honestly. "I myself bought this mobile for this wretched girl, because of which this girl has completely ruined." Abdul Kalam said, "Why are you regretting now? This is all the result of your deal." While both husband and wife were still talking, the daughter stomped off to her room and immediately called that boy. The boy consoled Zainab from the other side and started inciting her against her parents further. "What kind of parents are these? They oppress you. You have a right to live too. If you talk to me, what sin are you committing?" Zainab was crying on the call. The boy told Zainab, "Whatever your father has earned, do this. Pack everything and come to me. We will run away and get married." Zainab picked up whatever jewelry and money her mother had in the house and ran away quietly at night. The boy was waiting for Zainab. When he saw Zainab coming, he quickly took all her belongings and said, "You stay here. I'll arrange the car, and come." Then Zainab waited all night for the boy, but he did not come. An elderly person appeared there, and seeing Zainab sitting alone and crying, he asked, "Daughter, what's the matter? Why are you sitting alone and crying?" Zainab, crying, told the elderly person her whole story. The elderly person explained to Zainab and said, "Daughter, nothing is ruined yet. It's still time before Fajr. Do this. Quietly return home before Fajr. Your parents won't know, and their honor will be saved." Zainab did exactly that, and quietly returned to her home. When she saw that her parents were still sleeping, she also quietly came and lay down. When morning came, her mother saw that there was no money in the house, and no jewelry either. She started crying and beating herself, but Zainab's heart still had no mercy to admit her mistake and tell everything honestly. Her actions remained the same. Then one day, just like that, Zainab got a call from that boy, and he said, "Zainab, I need some money. Send me some money. Otherwise, I will show the pictures you sent to people and show them to your father too. Your father's honor won't be worth a penny. If you care about your honor, then send me the money." But Zainab had already wasted all her father's money. She had no money left to give. Then the boy also crossed all limits without any pity and shared all of Zainab's pictures among his relatives and friends. When Zainab's father saw these shameful pictures of his daughter and people talked all sorts of things, he could not bear it and died of shock. But Zainab, I don't know what she was made of. Instead of mourning or repenting for her actions, she did not stop at all. Now she started going to clubs, and now her widowed mother was trying to explain a lot to her daughter, but the daughter had completely spoiled. Now Zainab also started coming home late at night because there was no one to scold her, so she started roaming freely. The girl had no concern for the house, how her mother was managing to live, how she was managing her food, and how she was paying the house rent. The girl was only concerned with herself all the time. Now she often ignored her mother completely. She had only obtained education up to college, after which she could not continue her educational pursuits. She felt a little mercy and started helping her mother by taking a job somewhere. The mother was very happy about this, that her daughter was earning money to run the house, and her worry was also reduced. But she was very troubled that a 19-year-old girl was often out until night. Her mobile phone would also be off, and she would give her mother the excuse that due to the excess of work, she turns off her mobile. Zainab's mother was very disturbed by this lie. She thought again that she should somehow keep an eye on her daughter so that she does not fall into the previous mistake again. Therefore, she installed a CCTV camera outside her house, and every morning she would get up and watch the video and check what time her daughter had come home at night. Zainab was very troubled by her mother's actions and was also very angry, and she also started fighting with her mother. "You are doubting your daughter. This is not good." But Zainab's mother kept the camera installed and checked on a daily basis what time her daughter returned home at night. One day, Zainab suddenly disappeared. Her mother was afraid of this very thing, and that happened. Zainab's mother kept waiting for her for many days. Zainab was not to return home, nor did she come. Zainab's mother's condition started deteriorating, and she did not mention to anyone for fear of disgrace that her daughter had run away from home. One day, Zainab's mother was standing at the door of her house, looking for her daughter, when she suddenly fainted. The neighbors picked up Zainab's mother and admitted her to the hospital. People also noticed that the mother reached the hospital, but she was not there, and Zainab was not present in her home either. The neighbors took this matter seriously and immediately informed the police. When the police reached Zainab's house, the whole situation was explained to them. Zainab had been missing for several days, and her mother was lying in the hospital in a coma. The police took action and searched the house, and during the search of the house, the door camera was also seen, and all its recordings were also watched, and all the videos of that camera were taken in their mobile. The camera's videos were reviewed, but nothing was found out. When the police team went towards the jungle, Zainab was found lying unconscious in the bushes. The police team quickly took her to the hospital, but she died in agony shortly after. Because the doctor said that wild animals had been gnawing at her body for 3 days, and animals had done a lot of damage with her body parts, which had made her condition worse than death. And her mother was still in a coma, unaware that her disobedient child had left this world. Now, the neighbors had to arrange for Zainab's funeral because Zainab's corpse was lying like an unclaimed body. Her father was not there, and her mother was unconscious, so it was the responsibility of the neighborhood that they arrange her funeral. The women of the neighborhood gave Zainab a bath, and as soon as they started giving her a bath, a strange smell started coming from her body. The women giving the bath were saying, "Tauba, Tauba," while giving the bath. When they came out and told the men standing outside, "So much stench is coming from the corpse, you guys bury it without a bath because no human can stand this smell." The men of the neighborhood explained to those women, "This is all your job, no matter what. You people have a duty to give her a bath. She was a Muslim girl. No doubt she was disobedient to her parents. She committed a lot of sins in her life. But we can't commit the sin of burying her without a bath. You people gather a little courage. Cover your face with cloth and give her a bath. We have to perform our duty properly. Her corpse is unclaimed and we are Muslims. It is our duty. We have to arrange her funeral. If we bury her without a bath, then on the day of judgment, Allah will also ask us questions." The men of the neighborhood instilled the fear of God in those women, and those women realized and covered their faces with cloth and gave Zainab a bath. The women's work was completed here. Now it was the men's turn. They faced a strange trial. As soon as they picked up Zainab's corpse, the stretcher became so heavy that they couldn't lift it. Everyone was very troubled. Suddenly it started raining. It was afternoon. and everyone was waiting for the rain to stop so that they could bury her properly. From afternoon to night, it turned into stormy rain, and the weather outside was such that no human could go out in this weather and perform Zainab's burial. People were troubled. For 2 days, continuous rain fell, and it rained so much that it was impossible for anyone to go outside. Out of compulsion, everyone decided to talk to the imam. The people of the neighborhood talked to the imam that what should be done now. The girl's corpse has been lying for 2 days, and there is so much stench in the corpse that we are not even going near it. You only find a solution. You know more about religion. The imam said the weather is bad and it's nighttime. But in any case, bury this poor girl tonight. The neighborhood people, out of compulsion, picked up her corpse. It was very difficult to lift her corpse. As soon as they reached the cemetery, the rain was pouring heavily, and the grave of Zainab was completely filled with water. The people got worried and started digging another place for the grave, but that grave was also filling with water due to the rain. The people remained in this dilemma until midnight. Today, in any case, Zainab's corpse had to be buried. Otherwise, there was a risk of diseases spreading from her corpse. Meanwhile, a person came there and said, "Don't mind what I say, but I have seen a dream that we are burying Zainab with her mobile and her song system. Only then is she getting a place in the grave." When that person told everyone his dream, everyone got worried. How to bury Zainab with all these things? But that person said that he only sees true dreams. And the reality was also this. He was a very pious servant of Allah. People thought that we act on what Allah's servant has said. Who knows? Maybe she will get a place in the ground. People brought her mobile and her song system from her house and placed it on top of Zainab's corpse. Then another place was dug for her grave. Now the water had reduced a bit, the rain had stopped, and with great difficulty, Zainab got a place. Zainab was placed inside the grave, and her mobile and her song system were also placed in the grave. Everyone felt very strange, but everyone felt that this was the time for her admonition, the things she loved in life, and because of which she disobeyed her parents and caused them pain. She couldn't leave these things in the world. She was buried with them so that she realizes what she had earned and what not. Then suddenly a person's scream was heard. He said, "Look, this girl's tongue has come out, and worms are coming out of her ears." This scene was so horrifying that all the people present started screaming, shouting. They said to cover her with soil before burying her, and let's run from here, lest her punishment envelops all of us. The people of the neighborhood covered her grave with soil and immediately ran away. The women started reciting Tawbah Astaghfar. When this matter was mentioned to the imam arranged for Quran reading for Zainab's forgiveness, and everyone prayed for 3 days for Zainab's forgiveness. Meanwhile, her mother regained consciousness, and she told the whole truth. Her mother started crying, and everyone told her, "You forgive your daughter, then Allah will also forgive her. She is in a lot of torment." Zainab's mother cried a lot and prostrated in front of Allah, seeking forgiveness for her daughter, saying, "O Allah, the Lord of honor, she was my disobedient daughter. O noble sustainer, forgive her because the deficiency was in me. I was deficient in raising her. I gave her so much affection, and this life was the result of my affection, which went badly." When her mother forgave her, then the imam said, "You people dig up Zainab's grave and remove that song system and mobile from there. It was not the right way to bury the corpse. You people should have asked me first." Following the imam's instruction, the people of the neighborhood went back to the cemetery. Now the sun had come out and the ground of the cemetery was dry. They started digging the grave and saw that the grave was fine, and they took out the mobile and the song system from the grave and repented in front of Allah. They shouldn't have buried these things with the corpse. Then, suddenly, a person noticed Zainab's face and saw that the punishment had been removed from her. Her tongue was fine, her face was glowing, and people felt that her grave was now also emitting a fragrance. Coming back, they told this incident to the imam, and the imam said, This was her mother's prayer that was accepted because the prayer of a mother is called the breeze of heaven. When it touches the child, it feels just like the breeze of heaven. And Zainab was touched by her mother's prayer. The people of the neighborhood again held Quran reading and prayed for Zainab's forgiveness, and everyone asked Allah for forgiveness that they shouldn't have buried the mobile and the song system in the grave. The people of the neighborhood realized that they had committed a great sin by doing this work. They had disrespected the grave and the corpse, so they asked Allah for forgiveness. A few days later, Zainab's mother had a dream in which Zainab was very happy and telling her mother, "Mom, I disobeyed you and Dad all my life. You both suffered a lot, for which I received a great punishment. But as soon as you started praying for me, Allah removed the punishment from me. Indeed, the status of parents is very high. I wish I hadn't disobeyed you people and had been obedient to you. Then I wouldn't have received the punishment I got. But Mom, this is your prayer. Your prayer has saved me from this punishment." Hearing this dream, the people of the neighborhood were happy, and the Imam told everyone, "See how sinful we all are? We commit big sins, and we also get punished for it. But Allah's being is so merciful. When a person realizes his mistake, then immediately Allah, the Lord of Honor, forgives that person. This is Allah's mercy and generosity. He forgives us. If He didn't forgive us, then we would always be burning in fire." This doesn't mean that understanding Allah as Rahman and Rahim, we keep committing sins, but it means we should obey Allah. We should walk on His path. When our Lord loves us so much, then we should also love our Lord and become from His obedient servants. Dear friends, I hope you have learned a lot from today's video, so share the video in your family too, and along with subscribing to the channel, definitely write Allah Akbar in the comments. Thank you.